Nileeka, hey, congratulations on Marvel's Eternals.
Thank you so much. Best project I've ever been involved with. Honestly, such a great movie.
Well, tell us how this path came about for you. I mean, this is a once in a lifetime experience for very few people, in fact.
Definitely. I mean, we didn't know when we were contacted as a company, what this movie eventually would be. It was, called something else as it usually is. When you get contacted for a movie, you don't get told the actual title. I searched the internet high and low, tried to find out what on earth it could be. And only a few weeks later, when we were in the process, I realized, oh, this is part of the MCU. Like, this is a big deal.
So what was that reaction when you finally figured it out? It was a Marvel
So I
project.
didn't figure it out. My assistant choreographer said, "Are you sitting down?" And I said, "No." He said, "Sit down right now." And I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "You know what we've been auditioning for and what we've been, speaking about? It's for Marvel." I was like, "Oh my goodness." Because doing a film and then being part of the Marvel kind of family they're two different things. I've done films before, but this was just, it's such an honor. So we knew the gravity of what we had to deliver then.
So in terms of developing the scene, obviously they have to try to give you as much limited amount of information as possible. But how did you want to approach the choreography, particularly with a film like this?
I think with the choreography, it was very much Chloe's vision and being true to seeing a certain style of Bollywood. So we also had to incorporate a little bit of, the comedic kind of character that Kumail has throughout. So, we didn't want him to be this crazy good dancer that was this unattainable sort of level doing backflips and whatnot. He still had to retain his sort of Kingo charm. And I think that's like very clear when he, comes on. It's all about his facial expressions, the winking, the way that he interacts with his leading lady. We wanted to kind of bring the humor as well into the choreography.
Now, he described it as one of the most difficult scenes he had to do in this film. So, how do you train a person who's not, how do you say, an expert in Bollywood dancing?
I think honestly, the first thing I work on with anyone that I do private lessons with is the confidence. So that's something that I want to see as a development throughout my lessons. If I see them in each week, they're not feeling that little bit more confident, like I'm not doing my job well. So for me, it was just about him believing in himself a little bit more. And, rather than being like, are we done yet? Being like, can we go a little bit longer? Like, I want to see him really enjoying it. And I definitely started seeing that as we kind of progressed with our rehearsals.
So, when he first started, how was he as a dancer? Did he have two left feet, or he was actually pretty proficient with it?
Honestly, I don't think anyone has two left feet as such, but I would say that his confidence was extremely low and he just kept saying, I can't dance, I'm not a dancer. And I think it was a little bit hard for him to figure out, with his like limbs, like where to place them and, really he wanted to really learn not just how to dance this dance but to understand the style and understand what he was doing really thoroughly, just like he would when he's acting a scene. He totally applied himself to this.
Now, the scene in the film lasts only less than 20 seconds, so everyone's going to be curious. Is there actually like a much larger scene, or was there a plan for something longer?
No, so yeah, the scene's actually over a minute. I think the
Oh,
actual yeah, it's quite long. We used most of what we filmed. I think we filmed like 3 minutes 20, and about 2 minutes something actually made the cut. I know the film is quite long anyway, but this is, for me, obviously I'm a bit biased, but it is a standout scene because it just represents so many things to so many people. But yeah, it was only a tiny bit longer because we actually filmed it over 2 days. Chloe really wanted some aerial shots, which we got. And we didn't know when we were recording it whether it was going to be 20 seconds, but it actually ended up being a whole lot more.
that is terrific to hear. And one more thing is everyone else, you know, in that dance scene, is everyone from your company, or is it actually had to like go out and far and wide to cast more extras?
We did have to go far and wide to cast more extras because they wanted a specific sort of look. You know, this was meant to be filmed in Film City in Mumbai, like being there and, you know, look like we had handpicked Indian dancers from India. So we had to like cast the net out a little bit, but most of the dancers were from my team, and maybe about 20 or 20-ish were not. So we had a total of 50 dancers plus our leads. But even the casting of the whole thing was such a fun process.
Well, Nileeka, you've done a wonderful job with the choreography and with this scene in Eternals, because it's a memorable scene. A lot of people want to see this culture and something unique that a lot of American audiences don't usually see. So thank you very much for carrying this conversation.
Thank you.